which is leading me into. Do I talk about politics? Do I say anything? Because I love you. I love you all. I don't want to upset anybody. I even like Huck's Infantry, but you're a punk, you know? I don't know, man. I don't think I was being rude to you. You just come off as being rude. Are you... I don't know. I want to say more, but I don't want to, because I'll be rude. I guess I was just rude calling him a punk, but I'm an old guy. I can do that, you young whippersnapper. So, yeah. I shouldn't let him get under my skin. There you go. Things do get under my skin, you know? It's just the wording. Listen, Kong. I don't want to hear any more of your liberal prattle. You were just a kid. What the hell? You talk like that to me. Oh. I feel bad, I was going back over some comments that I never answered. Bobo McGraw, he's a friend of Huck's Infantry, so you guys can stick together if you want, I don't care. But I've always liked Bobo McGraw. I've always seen him as a pretty sharp guy, and there was just one thing where I was talking about Cartman, on South Park, and anything that comes out of Cartman's mouth, is like, he's basically a jerk. And the thing that stuck in my mind the most was the whole thing about Cartman hating hippies. And then, if Cartman is basically an asshole, and the things that he says are the things that an asshole would say. That's the joke of the cartoon. Cartman's a jerk, okay? He dressed up like Adolf Hitler, in the episode with that Australian actor that did the Christ torture movie. Oh, what's his name? You know who I'm talking about. It just slipped my mind. But he was in the news a lot, for drunk driving arrest and saying racist stuff. And, the guy's nuts. He's wacky. Oh, what's his name? I can't think of it. But hey, who cares? He's not one of my favorite actors anymore. I kind of lost interest in him. But, Mad Max, Road Warrior, that guy. So anyway, yeah, in that episode of South Park, Cartman dresses up like Adolf Hitler and wants his "I want my final solution." So he's a jerk. So I'm bashing Cartman, and then Bobo McGraw comments, "What? So I'm an asshole?" Apparently, Bobo McGraw doesn't like hippies either. Okay, no offense, man, but maybe our definition of hippie is a little different. But maybe you just mean like those crusties that live over the UK that are just like bums. Of course, the original hippies were considered bums too, so yeah, there you go. There's your beatniks, they were trying to live on the fringe of society, taking what they could get, doing as little work as possible. And and then along came the hippies later. So yeah, I just have a knee-jerk reaction to people that hate hippies, because mostly what they are, they're rednecks, and they're against all the cool stuff that the hippies brought us, Woodstock and challenging authority, and sort of a the communal living and organic foods, and at least in San Diego, the modern equivalent of a hippie would be the food co-op, and a little bit of that old Frank video, the drum circle kind of stuff. I mean, why would anybody hate those people? They're kind of doing their own thing. They're not really hurting anybody. Hate's a strong word too. So anyway, Delisa Productions, she had a great thing for the last Fez night. It's been a hard day's Fez. I should be drinking like a dog. It's been a hard day's Fez. I should be sleeping like a log. But when I get to watch you, it's all I can do because it feels all right. Haha. Thank you, Lisa. That was very nice. She said, saw The Dark Knight. I talked about that last week. Loved Ledger in it. Another title, Gone with the Fez. Gone meaning getting drunk. Cheers. Yeah, I'm getting lots of good suggestions. I did use one of hers, though. I think it was to Fez or not to Fez or something like that. Was it? I don't know. It's something to do with Shakespeare. Methadone for Life. Got to say hello to you. Thanks for watching Fez Nights. And to Pelagian. Even though you don't always comment, I guess you watch more than I realize. And I had the They Might Be Giants as an intro music. And he said When the music came on, my wife started bouncing the baby, and the baby did love the intro. Aw, thanks, Craig. Is it Craig? I'm sorry, Antipelagian, if I got your name wrong. I think it is. Could be wrong. I'm bad with names, but anyway, thanks, Antipelagian. And Win Harps, thanks for watching. Akbar the Great, you're still out there? Haven't seen it. Haven't seen you around that much, but thanks. I miss you, Akbar the Great. And Crazy Cat F Guy. Crazy Cat F Guy, you're always trying to stir the pot a little bit. I believe everything you mentioned was forced on the government by unions and fought against by both parties. Not everything, because FDR brought in a lot of those changes. You know, sure, there's big business on both parties. Do you know that the pharmaceutical companies have given more money to the Democrats than they did the Republicans? Normally, what they do is they give more money to the Republicans. I think they're hedging their bets. They think the Dems are going to win. Yay, Democrats! Those of you who know me well enough, I am not a registered Democrat. I'm registered Green Party. Cheers. But in my heart, I'll always be a Democrat. I grew up thinking my dad was a Republican because my mother loved Nixon. And one point, finally, when I was a teenager, I said, Dad, why did you vote for Nixon? He goes, I didn't vote for Nixon. I'm a Democrat. My dad never talked about politics in my house, believe it or not. But I was brought up in a very progressive, especially when it comes to race issues. My father would be very upset with me if I ever uttered a racist epithet, and that's my dad. You know, my dad was a good man, basically a quiet man, a very distant man. With a little bit of advice he ever gave me, he said, "Don't ever get married." Oh, all right. Anyway, and 55 Ella 2000K, and this freak is alive. This freak is alive. I'm glad she's back. Hattache. Did I get that right? Anyway, now I'm really buzzed. I had nothing to talk about. Okay, one last little thing I'm going to say, and it's about voter apathy. And, in my heart of hearts, if you're apathetic and you would normally vote for McCain, then don't vote. Stay home. But for anybody that hates McCain but says Obama's the same thing, all I can say to you is look at the conventions. Look at the people inside that showed up. Watch the cameras scan over the crowd. The Republicans are all white people. Very few. There's a token brown-skinned person in there mixed in. What the hell they're doing there, I don't know. In fact, the gay people, those log cabin Republicans, what the hell? You know what? Log cabin Republicans are the worst because they're turning their back on their own, fellow gay people purely for scratch, for money, because they're people that have investments and they feel that the Republicans are going to help me hold on to my money, God, that's a terrible thing. I have no respect for log cabin Republicans. And it's not because they're gay. It's because it's like if slaves no, people hate that analogy. It's any kind of oppressed group, siding with the oppressor.